How 3-day-old pasta was the end of a family of 7. A family of 7 sits down to eat some leftovers for dinner one evening. They've saved some pasta salad from a picnic they had on the weekend. It smells a little funny, so 3 of the children only eat a small portion. But it would be wasteful to throw it away, so it should be fine, right? Unfortunately not, for in a short 6 hours all 5 children will be hospitalized. After a picnic in the park on a Friday circa 2003, 5 children became sick after eating leftover pasta salad their family had saved until the following Monday. The salad smelled funny, so 3 of the kids, 2 girls aged 9 and 10, and a boy, aged 14, only ate a little bit. Shortly after finishing the salad, about 6 hours later, the youngest girl, aged 7, began puking. Suddenly, her breathing became labored. She was taken immediately to the emergency room of a local hospital, but as they arrived, the rest of the children began to throw up as well. The youngest girl and her 9-year-old brother's breathing worsened quickly, so medical staff intubated them and got them on mechanical ventilators. All of the children were then transported to the university hospital in Leuven, but during transfer, the youngest girl experienced a severe pulmonary hemorrhage, which meant that blood was leaking into her airways, and paramedics were forced to apply continuous resuscitation to keep her alive. When she arrived at the Leuven hospital, she was near her end, in a coma, with internal bleeding, and intense muscle cramps. Unfortunately, there was nothing doctors could do, and she passed away after 20 minutes of arriving at the university hospital, only 13 hours after eating the pasta salad. The salad was made on a Friday, before being taken to the picnic the next day. Unfinished, they brought the salad home and kept it in the fridge until Monday night when it was served to everyone. All of the siblings were affected by the ailment, though to different severities. The 9-year-old boy was taken to a pediatric ICU where he was ventilated and monitored. They treated him for liver failure with lactulose, neomycin, and acetylcysteine. He regained consciousness and was successfully extubated with no other major complications. The elder 2 sisters were treated with fluid resuscitation, and recovered slowly. The eldest brother was affected less severely than the others, and was kept under observation. His blood samples came back good, and he, along with his surviving brothers and sisters, were allowed to leave after 8 days in the hospital. In another case involving leftovers, a 17-year-old boy and his father came down with a bout of puking 30 minutes after eating spaghetti served with homemade pesto. The spaghetti had an odor, but they ate all of it. However, the son ate more than his father. The father was a doctor, so coming down with abdominal pain and diarrhea about 30 minutes after eating, he took a course of antiemetics and charcoal to help his puking. He stabilized, but his son, who didn't have diarrhea, continued vomiting so badly, he could not keep his charcoal down despite being given antiemetic meds. The son's condition slowly deteriorated over the next 2 days. His father treated him with aspirin, acetaminophen, and other medications. He was taken to the hospital where doctors found him to be jaundiced, his skin and eyes yellowed, as well as suffering from tachycardia, a very high heart rate. Doctors diagnosed him with fulminant hepatic failure, rhabdomyolysis, and acute renal failure. In other words, his liver was failing very quickly, his muscles were leaking into his bloodstream, and his kidneys were failing as well. The father still had some abdominal pain and diarrhea, but was otherwise completely fine. The son's condition, however, continued to worsen. At the University Hospital of Zurich, he wasn't able to respond to commands, nor walk on his own. His pupils still responded to light, though, which is a win, however small. Doctors took some of the son's blood for examination, but no toxins that would trigger liver failure were found. Medical staff also tested the blood for any nefarious bacteria and fungi, however those tests also came back negative. Doctors also determined that his liver failure was not connected to hepatitis, Epstein-Barr virus, or herpes. The son was immediately scheduled for a liver transplant and supportive treatment. This pressure built up until his brain couldn't take any more. He passed a day after arriving at the hospital. In the autopsy on the 17-year-old, after a liver biopsy, doctors found high concentrations of, you guessed it, be serious. Medical staff also found necrosis on his liver as well, which suggested an impairment of liver mitochondria. He succumbed to the same fate as the young girl. Bacteria in his food executed the cells in his liver, ending his life.